Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, a.k.a. Man of the People, because I enjoy working for the fans of the Carolina Panthers. I know it's tough times. We are now 1-10 after falling to the Tennessee Titans, so it may not be the easiest time to be a Carolina Panthers fan. The final score in this game today was Carolina 10, Tennessee Titans 17. Another close yet non-victorious, whatever the proper word is, for the Carolina Panthers. So I'm going to walk you through it. We're also going to have a call-in guest. Our photographer, Patrick Snyder, will be calling in live from the field in Tennessee. So we'll get to hear from him. And I'm here to answer any questions. But, tough sledding, as they say today, with the Carolina Panthers. You see some things, and, honestly, it's just hard to watch. Just to be honest, it's hard to watch, irregardless of results, and other than a win, because as a fan base, you're used to seeing so many losses. You're tired of the losses, and it's just kind of like, maybe that was better, but we lost. Maybe that was, it's just a lot of frustration. But we're going to try to walk you through it with as much entertainment and as possible, talking about this Carolina Panther matchup. Got a few people signing on, as well as some of our. Let me adjust my camera here a little bit. It's a little too high. Let's do that a little bit there. Let me make another live adjustment to my camera angle, because I feel like it's way too high. Uh-oh. Almost there. Sorry about this real-time camera angle adjustment stuff here going on. There we go. All right, so let's get into talking about this. Let's go ahead and also, let me make sure my photographer's not trying to come on and have any problems, because it will be nice to go to him live in Nashville. It's raining there, so he may not come on. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, talking to my photographer that's on the field live in Tennessee, because he usually comes on. Sorry. Live TV. Here he goes. He's joining me right now. Let's see. All right, he looks to be live. I just need to hit another button to bring him on. Patrick Snyder.
Hey, how we doing, Chris?
Hey, great to see you, man, in a rainy Nashville, Tennessee. Did you hear me? Uh-oh, Patrick may not be hearing me.
It looks like I'm getting a little bit of delay from you, Chris. But
That's fine if you're getting a delay. It's the same story we want to hear from you.
Yep.
Tell me about
Can you
your
hear me, Chris?
observations. I can hear you. Tell me about your observations and what it was like watching that game from the photographer's perspective, and then we'll let you get dry.
Well, it's just one of those things again where it's like so close, but yet so far. I mean, that it just feels like the energy was different today with the Panthers when they came out on the field. I felt like, okay, it's the first time I've seen them really jacked up coming into the start of the game, and and they had some good looks there. But again, it's more of the same story. It's Bryce back there running for his life, and today he was really running, and and there was a couple of crazy plays where he was running left and running right and just trying to look for anybody to get open, and nobody was getting open. And it's just telling of his struggles. And I see him trying. I think he's getting better every game. But when it's like a revolving door to get to him, and it's just like 1, 2, and they're in his face. I mean, there was times where there was 3 and 4 Titans around him at points, and it just more of the same. It's interesting listening to Frank, who's just saying, we're not going to pull anything out of a hat. We're 1-10 on to Tampa. It's very Belichick-like at the podium today for him.
I don't know if he has many other choices of what he could say with his personality. But let me tell you this. I know we're about to show some photographs, but I want to be quick because you're out there in the rain. You said it was a lot of energy for the players at the beginning, which is interesting and great because we did have a good start. What about the contrast and the irony of how things were at the end? Because you got some photos that I'm going to show shortly here where players look like they were really comforting one another.
Yeah, I feel like that's become, we're in this together down the stretch, and it's not going to be great. They got 3 divisional games coming up, and it's only going to get harder for them. And I think they're trying to stay together as a group. Um, and a reporter at press conference of Bryce, whether they were going to have another conversation in the locker room. Again, players only, and he said that's just between the players. It's never outside the locker room. So, I don't know. I mean, like I said, the energy was very, very different. It was very almost like Cam Day lights
Wow.
out there on the field early on. It was like, wow, look, they're all they're fired up, they're excited, and I was like, okay, here we go. And the energy was there in the first quarter, and then it was gone. And it's almost like that delayed. I feel like all the teams we play, it's almost like a delayed reaction. Like, okay, we're going to let them feel like they're in the game, and then we're going to remind them that they're still 1-10. Um, and uh, and that's not on Bryce, but boy, there were a lot of injuries today.
Yeah,
A
it
lot of
was.
injuries here.
Before I let you go, did you happen to see Tepper at all today?
I didn't, but I read his comment coming out of the locker room that was just posted, and he dropped an F-bomb on the way out of the locker room. That's what I just read online from Joe Persons. So again, I was just talking with another reporter here, and I was like, man, how much longer before someone's head rolls? I mean, when you get to this point, uh, somebody needs to be sacrificed, and you wonder who it's going to be.
Yeah,
The one. I they come out and play. Everyone was playing. No one's mailing it in, even all the way down the stretch. No one's mailing it in. But it's like a foregone conclusion. I've gotten to the point now where I'm just sitting behind Bryce when they're on offense, because it's not when they're going to get him, and until they can get some protection up front, it's just a matter of the guy, keeping the guy upright. And it just, the one image I'm sure you'll show to me just kind of it just sums up the whole season in one photograph. With Bryce shoulder pads coming out of his shirt, he looks disheveled, and right behind him is the word tough on the wall here, where it says Tennessee tough, but it just says tough. And that can be interpreted in a lot of different ways. His toughness in playing the game, or it's just going to be a tough season. Whichever way you want to slide that.
Hey, Patrick, thank you for the photograph. We are about to show them next. Thank you for going out there, and I'll let you go ahead and get dry and head on back to Charlotte.
All right, Chris, see you in Tampa next week.
All righty. So there you have it, our photographer. And that's really, one of the great things about going him live after a game is that he always has a different perspective because he's down there on the field. And, we could see different things. I'm not at the game, obviously, today I'm here in the Charlotte office, but in the press box, we don't get to see the exact positivity and energy from the players at the beginning of the game. There was wonderment, I'm making up words today, on Frank Reich's ability to maintain his locker room. I played some videos in the pregame show which players said things are fine, they're in it together, they don't need anything new. And if they came out with a lot of energy, then that would speak to the fact that Frank and this coaching staff had these guys, they haven't lost the locker room, but they're just not able to put them in the best positions to win. I'm going to go through a few comments, and then I'm going to go through some of the stats and other things that we have today. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, supporting independent media. Hit the like button. Please just hit the like button every time you come on. Just get into that habit. Do me that favor. That helps other Panther fans find out about the channel. Helps us as an independent media continue to get those players and coaches on the show because they appreciate when they're going to be seen and their voices heard through our channel. Let's go. What's up, Tin Tizzy? Saying hello. Here we go. Took me a second to get you on there. Got to give a special acknowledgement to the members of the channel. And then we have another comment from another member. Got to give shouts to the members. Hilljo says Frank is defeated already in his head before game start. You can tell he doesn't think we can win by his composure. I mean, I think that's a little unfair. His composure after the games is, well, they've been losing, so he's not going to be too upright and proud. I mean, I guess you kind of could be, but he's been losing. He's lost 10 games. He's only won 1 in 11. So I think pregame he'll have a different composure. And he's just getting beat up. He's not being successful, and it's going to show a little bit on his body language. So let's run through it. Please keep the comments coming. I am going to get through those. Members, love you signing on. Let's go ahead and look at some of these pictures from today's game. And man, it is a big array of images that we have. The gentleman that was just on the screen was Patrick Snyder. He is our photographer. These are the photographs captured by him. This is Chuba Hubbard scoring in the game in the third quarter here, bringing the team to a score of 10-17 at that point. Pretty nice image of Chuba scoring and getting pushed, looked like by Cade Mays right there. Continue to move on. Now, this was earlier on in the game, first half, when Bryce Young had a fumble, was recovered by the Tennessee Titans. Not a good moment for the team right there, but it happened and it was caught on film. Derek Brown, which we're going to show his stats here, getting some pressure early on in that first possession of the game by Tennessee Titans. Getting some pressure on Levis. You see there at right hand, he's been grabbed, but nevertheless, Derek Brown continues to play some really good defense for this Carolina Panthers team. Continue to move through. If I can get my mouse to work correctly here. This is one of the pictures that is, you know, this could be on the cover of the Carolina Panthers 2023 gallery of photos here. As Patrick was talking about, you see the words tough in the background. You see Bryce just kind of grimacing, the jersey coming off the shoulder pad a little bit there, and just like, you know, it's tough. It really is. This picture was captured today, Tennessee Titans versus Carolina Panthers. That's Bryce Young walking off the field there. Leave a like. You know, hit a like at the least if you're appreciating. Got to fix the color on my camera, but hit the like button if you're appreciating these photographs. We'll continue to work through these images here. I already showed you that one. Sorry about going back and forth there. Here's a picture of Bryce Young rarely showing emotions. This is Bryce Young early in the game when he had a first down and he got a little excited there and gave us not quite the Cam Newton first down, but he gave us a pretty good first down signal. And let's go to the last but not least. Now let's start to go to those are all the in-game and pre-game pictures, right? Lots of energy pre-game. Now let's take a look at some of the game pictures near the end of the game here. Sorry, you already saw that one. Here we go. Bryce Young and Eddie Pinheiro, just, you know, comforting his brother, as they say. Tough match. Team did not get the W, but there they are walking off the field at the end of the game, just consoling one another. And then here's another one. DJ Chark, he was a recipient of the pass on that 4th and 6 that we didn't quite make it. And LaVisca Chenault walking off the field. And as you see there, another outstanding photograph because it shows in the back on the scoreboard that the Titans win. And obviously we did not. So there you have it. Some pictures from today's action. See if I can get these off the screen properly here. Some pictures from today's action. If you have not done so, I encourage you to head on over to Instagram. That is the place where you'll see those photographs that I just put up there and more. You'll have a chance to look at those and support your team. All right, let's continue to work through some stats from today's game. Let me go ahead and touch on one more comment here. Here we got a comment from Thomas Frisbee. Week after week, the ineptness of this team gets worse. Fitterer needs to be held accountable for putting together this team as well as Reich. Yeah, I'm going to share my view on it, and I'll give you a quick preview of that view. I feel like the game for fans felt worse than it was because of how long this team has been losing. 6 straight seasons, I believe it is, that we've had losing records. So any marginal progression isn't going to be that well received because you're just tired of it. But to me, this team improved today. It was a better game than they have been playing. We still didn't get the W. And again, if you're one of those fans that's, I'm just pissed and tired, I get it. I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise. But if you're wanting to hear some, some subjective views on this, it was a better game. The Tennessee Titans scored 0 points in the second half. 0 points in the second half. The Carolina Panthers scored in the third quarter, which is something that we don't do. And we were in a position to score again in the fourth quarter, which we don't do. I know a lot of people want to talk about Frank Reich and his job, Scott Fitterer and his job. When is it going to happen? How hot is the seat? I don't believe that Frank is now in a position where he's going to be fired during the season. I'm not saying that he's going to get another year, but I feel like it would be something that would happen after the end of the season. Because right now, and we're going to touch on these injuries, more than ever, this team, I'm sorry, Frank Reich, when he talks to David, he'll be like, yeah, I'm pissed off too. There was a report out there from Joe Purdy that said to you guys, we shut them out in the second half. We scored in the second half. I know I've been very critical of the coach and said, man, you look at these box scores in the first half and second half, we always are it's upside down, it's backwards, it's not good. It was better, and they're doing it with a defense that's been depleted and an offense that got pretty banged up today. Since I'm talking about those injuries, let me go ahead and touch on those injuries and what we had today as we work through this. And please continue to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, all that good stuff to support this independent media. And let's go. Laviska Shenault, he had an ankle injury. He was out in the first half, came back in the second half, and then went out again. Sorry to be there. DJ Johnson had a neck injury. Our edge rusher, he ended up being out for the game. Chandler Zavala, our guard, left the game early with a knee injury. Von Bell left with a shoulder injury, and Tommy Tremble had a groin injury. So that was 5 guys that ended up getting out today. So that's just tough. It's tough. You already had a ton of guys out before then, and then you have more out. So not saying that we would have won, but it's just tough. As a matter of fact, let me put this picture back up there just for a little bit of fun and entertainment here. It's tough. It's right there on the sign. Read it. All right, sorry. Had to get a drink of water, so I left it up there for a second. Let's run through the stats. And I'm all you guys, going through the comments and questions that you guys may have. If you have not registered to win the Bryce the Bryce Young jersey, somebody's probably saying, Chris is still sick. Well, I'm 99.9% over it, but there will be a little every now and then. I feel pretty good, though, in case anybody's wondering. Let's go over these stats. Bryce Young, 18. Sorry, I have to mute myself for a cough there. Bryce Young, 18 for 31. 194 yards before the sack totals. A 6.3 yard average, which is pretty nice. 4 sacks, an improvement, a big improvement. Almost a 50% improvement from last week. Bryce Young today did not play a bad game. I like that. I don't know if he was coached to do this or if he just decided to do this more himself. But he was running the ball. And him running the ball does add another dynamic to this team. Now, I don't want him just playing in the run. He's seeming like he's got a little bit better at the slide. But him running the ball, it helps. I don't know how many times he ran the ball today and it got us a first down, but you got to add that little wrinkle. I feel like that should be something. Again, I don't know the extent of the conversations that was had with Bryce to do so, but at this point you just got to try everything to get you over that hump and to get a W. But those are the stats from Bryce Young. Let's go ahead and look at the rushing that he did today. I'm sorry, I'm hitting too many buttons over here. Oh boy. All right, here we go. Bryce Young, I'm starting with Bryce because I was just talking about him. 3 rushes, 23 yards, along for 11, a 7.7 average. Not too bad. I'll take 3 to 5 rushes from Bryce if we're not getting 7 sacks. Leave a comment. Leave a comment. Let me know. Would you take Bryce Young rushing 3 to 5 times if we can keep the sacks, below 3, keep the hits down? I think that's wise. We also ran the ball today more than we threw the ball. I think this is the first time that has happened all season. I haven't gone back and double checked all the stats. So if you're out there and you already know for sure, please let me know. But look, we had 32 rushing attempts today. Passing wise, we had 31. So that was good to see. We had one more rushing attempt than we had passing. So to me, if we talk about, and I'm always going to be speaking as a journalist from a just stating the facts for you to take it and do what you want to do with it. To me, that is improvement for Frank Wright, because now my complaint was you're rushing the ball better last week and you didn't do it enough. Do it more, even if it's not pretty, even if it's not what you want, because a true coach is going to just do whatever, whether he wanted to or not, to succeed and get his team a W. He made some progression there. We rushed the ball more than we ran the ball. Chuba with 14 carries, 45 yards, a 3.2 yards average. Miles Sanders, 15 rushes, 28 yards, a 1.9 yard average. So Chuba Hubbard really continues to be a lot better back than Miles Sanders. Chuba also had some receiving yards. His hands have gotten better. So now I'm going to say for Frank, the next evolution that I want you to have, you went today and you let the team run the ball more than you probably have all season. Again, I haven't went back and looked at the game-by-game season stats, but I feel strongly that is the case. Now the next step. Instead of splitting these carries 50-50 because you paid Miles Sanders, know that you're going to win, know that you're coaching for your job. Maybe let's increase it to Chuba running the ball 3/4 of the time and Miles Sanders 1/4 of the time. All right, if that's giving you a better chance to win, look at this stat right here. He had a 3.2 yard average, almost twice as better than Miles, then give him an opportunity. Let's go ahead and go into this receiving. As I said, Chuba Hubbard hands. Chuba. I can't say I never thought I'd be saying this. Chuba caught 100% of his passes. He was 5 for 5 with his passing. Miles Sanders, he had one target and he missed. So just in that regard, when I'm talking about giving Chuba the ball more and letting him play more, he's showing that he can run better than Miles. He's showing that he has hands to catch the ball. Leave the man in the game and continue to put yourself in the position to win. If you learn that, Frank, you might be playing well into your second season and turning things around and being a successful coach for the Carolina Panthers. Jonathan Mingo was your top receiver, 4 catches, 60 yards. Chuba Hubbard, DJ Chark also getting some action there, 3 for 34. Amir Smith-Marset. I think you see a bunch of other guys. The big wow from this one is Adam Thielen. Season low, just 1 catch, 3 yards? 2 yards. Adam Thielen, 1 catch, 2 yards off of 3 targets. So they game plan for Adam. Took him out the game. 100% took him out the game. And, we still had a chance to win this game. Let's go on the defensive side, because I think we have hit it all on the offensive side. Good play by the defense. Good play by before we even go through all these, again, 0 goose egg in the second half by the Tennessee Titans. David Long Jr., and I know some people are saying, well, who's this guy? But our defensive coordinator is doing his thing, coaching these guys up. David Long with 7 tackles, Camus Gruger-Hill with 5. Derek Brown doing good with tackles for losses and pass deflections. Dante Jackson playing solid. Von Bell doing well until his injury. But yeah, not too bad by the defense. Not too bad. Overall, defensively, it's cut off here. We had 4 QB hits. Now, one thing I didn't touch on was the QB hits by Tennessee. They had 6 on Bryce. So a lot of QB hits on Bryce, 6 QB hits, and I think we had 4 sacks. So let me round out so we can go ahead and get to you all's comments that are coming out there. One more thing that I'm going to finish on, and then I'm going to let you all take it from here. Just checking a few things, and I'm going to get right into it. Hit the like button if you miss Andre Cassidy. Show him some love. Leave some love for my co-host Andre Cassidy in the comments. Again, he's off enjoying the holiday, so it's just me here today. He will be joining me tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for our day after show. Geared 100% towards you guys calling in. So if you're mad, if you got a question, just get ready now. Tomorrow's show, 7 o'clock. That show is intended to talk and interact with you all. That's why we go live. We'll also have a guest, David, one half of Panther Nation podcast, will be joining us tomorrow for the show. All right, my final thing, and then we're going to leave the rest of the show to hitting some comments, would have been the 4th down play. I think it was 4th and 6. Let me just make sure, because I just want to be accurate with my conversations here. Last play of the game. Well, last play for the Carolina Panthers. It was I'm not the right spot. Yeah, it was a 4th and 6 from the Carolina Panthers 24. It was trips up top. It was shotgun by Bryce. You heard him making audibles, and then you saw some guys checking back to confirm that they heard the call. And then you saw DJ Chark step back for a screen and proceed to get no gain. Thus, the game was over. After the game, Coach Frank Reich was asked about that and said that's what they want to do. That was a change. They had a 0 blitz, which means there's nobody over top. Everybody's basically man on man. It's something that you can beat for sure. With man-on-man coverage, no safety help, or only one. No safety help. And this play, I didn't like it at all. And Frank said that's what he wanted. I'm scratching my head because I'm just trying to think through it. Frank said he wanted it. He said it was good, and he said that the only thing was DJ maybe kind of stepped back a little too far. The play wasn't executed as well as it could have been executed, but he likes that play. It's something that could give you the yardage for sure. Man, that was a terrible play. It was a terrible play. I don't know why Frank said that. Here's what happened on that play. Wow, I was just like, what in the world was that? You had 3 Carolina Panther wide receivers. I forget what 3 they were. I know it was probably Chark, Mingo, and Thielen. I forget exactly, but I'm 100% certain it was 3. You had 4 defenders for the Tennessee Titans. That is why that play was what? You had 3, you had trips left, and you had 4 defenders from the Tennessee Titans. Thielen did good, taking out his man. So that's one-on-one. You had, let's just say it was Mingo. I think it was Mingo. You had Mingo properly block his guy. You got Chark, who just has to make a move on his guy. But then you have this 4th guy, this 4th cornerback. linebacker, nickel guy that was unaccounted for, and he comes right to Chark, unblocked, and makes the tackle. So, and it was another Titans far away. So it was just like, man, that was not a DJ Chark took maybe a step back too far or something like that. That was not the. You didn't even have the numbers to win that matchup, and that's what you audible to win the game. So we got to do a little bit better there. All right, there you go. There's my rant, but facts on how this game ended for the Carolina Panthers, thus taking them to 1-10. Next game will be in Tampa Bay. Yours truly will be in Tampa Bay for that game. So please continue to support us. It's tough, but we make it fun as can be. We interact with you, and we go through it with you together. So I hope because of that, you'll continue to like the channel, subscribe to the channel, tell a friend, help us grow, and it just helps us continue to do our job. All right, let's go ahead and knock out these comments for everybody who patiently waited. Let me, by far, give some shout. Everything. And the one sound effect that I need to put out there.
Super chat.
Super chat. All right, thank you so much, Michelle Yvette. Hi, Chris. Came in to give you all a like. Did Frank Wright throw the D under the bus? Nope, he didn't. Catch y'all on the replay. Your fave, Bryce Young. Thank you so much. Michelle's a member. You see that special certified looking sticker by her name, and she gave the super chat for $5 today. Thank you so much for supporting independent media, Yvette. It is greatly appreciated. All right, we're going to work our way through some of these comments here. Tenora Holy, same story. You are 100% correct. The same story, just not enough. If Tepper pulls the trigger, does he keep Evero on the team since other teams would want to bring him in as a coach? You keep, yeah. You didn't say should Evero be the head coach. Should Evero be kept? You know, it's really going to be decided upon by the new coach. You know, who does he want his staff to be? But I don't think that any coach, whether Evero becomes the head coach or Thomas Brown or any of these guys on this team, gets that interim title if Tepper was to fire Wright during the season. You don't give up your defensive coach because he is by far the person that is helping keep this team in a position to win. We're only scoring one touchdown. Like, we're not scoring much at all, and we're being given an opportunity to win these games. So, yeah, Thomas, appreciate the question. Thank you very much. Let Andy Dalton play. It's that simple. This ain't college. If your team is losing, you have to switch it up and try something else, says Gregory Brown. So, Gregory, the biggest reason that I would disagree with you, and I think many others may disagree with you, is for the development of Bryce Young. He did better today. Certainly you don't want the guy to get his head knocked off. But he did better today with only 4 sacks. He was pressured. I see that he's using his feet more. I'm going to ask Frank if that is something that they are encouraging him to do or not. But you want to continue to see him develop and continue to get those reps. In the midst of all this, and I'm always going to try to give some perspective, it's been terrible being a Carolina Panther fan. And I'm sure there's little patience because it's been bad for a while. But a lot of rookie quarterbacks struggle, and they just need reps. The best thing to keep teaching a guy, especially the quarterback position where it's so dynamic, so many things you have to learn and adjust to and adapt. Andy Dalton's a great quarterback, and you could say a better option at this point because he's had so much experience. And he knows what to do so he can process things quicker and better. Well, we believe that Bryce has a far higher ceiling than Andy, so we want to give him those reps so that he can be processing things quicker and quicker to get those, to get that opportunity. Now, if he was never a starter, then yeah, you could do that. But he's a starter. He's a captain. A lot of people believe in him. So with this particular case, it's best to just continue to let Bryce ride it out. Tired of this week in and week out bull crap. I hear you, Tizzy. It's been tough. Chris, it's official. The Panthers are the worst team in the league. That was not that's not breaking news. That's been the case for several weeks now. We have the worst record. We are the get right game for the other team. Whatever they are bad at or limited to, they will be successful and superior against us. Hey, Stallion, I don't know if you saw me earlier talk about it, but that kind of coincides with the fact that prior to this game, with our 10 games played, 5 out of 10 teams that have played us have had a player be player of the week. So yeah, we've been people's get right for sure. Bryce gonna request a trade after the season. I hear you, Mark. We all know that's not gonna happen. He's way too nice of a guy. Teppa has nothing but himself to blame for hiring a fraud. Says, now I always like when Nah comments because it's just the name to me just makes it really entertaining and funny. My man Shaked, hey Chris, I might call in tomorrow, but watching the Frank Wright press conference, it seems like he knows that he is going to get fired. I want you to call in. So again, our Monday shows and this channel overall, we love to interact. Makes it, that's I feel like the most unique thing about our channel is we're interactive. We're credentialed members of the media. You can talk to guys that are in that locker room, able to talk to players and coaches and have some good insight. So we hope that you continue to take advantage of that. Tell a friend about it. Hey, there's this channel out there on YouTube with these members from the media. Let you talk to them and ask questions. So take advantage of it. Have fun with it. Hope that you join us tomorrow for sure. Can we talk about Akeem robbing the Panthers for employment? He's been struggling. He's been struggling for sure. If the Panthers don't do something quick, like add some more weapons and work on the O-line, Bryce's career could turn into David Carr's career. Yeah, Thomas, so the tough part about it is there's not a whole lot you can do at week 13. We just finished week 12. We're now to week 13. It's not a lot of options out there, but you could try to scheme and do something different. Again, they rushed the ball today more than they ran the ball. That could be something that they could consider continuing to do to make sure that Bryce doesn't get his head knocked off. Can you work through some of these comments? The Mad Chatter says, shaking my head. I understand you. I understand you. How many injuries are we averaging per game? Perhaps the strength and conditioning program needs to be evaluated. Leonard. So that's been brought up before. They call them these soft tissue issues. Frank said that they've looked into it. They looked at just the routine of how everything works for the guys to try to figure it out. I mean, I feel like looking into this is one of those big documentary HBO, Cinemax, Showtime specials where they can have some really good contacts and sources to get some information and talk about this team. Not to say that there is something going there, but just to see if there is something going there, because it's been bad. It's been a lot, and it's been frequent. Today, again, it was Laviska Shenault with the ankle, DJ Johnson with the neck, Zavala with the knee, Von Bell with the shoulder, Tommy Tremble with the groin. And that doesn't include the guys that were already on the injury report and not able to even play this week. Obviously, the concussion's a different type of injury, but man, it's a lot. And I'm probably missing somebody from that list, to be honest with you. Always some humor here. I want to register to win the Fire Frank Wright jersey. We don't have that one. But if we get it, I'll let you register to win it for sure. The highlight of the day was the penalty flag being picked up by Xavier Woods. And man, I can't agree more with you, because I was about to say, I feel the pain of like, how am I supposed to hit the guy? Like, am I just not allowed to get a good hit on a wide receiver anymore? And I can't even say I'm a person that's like craving for hits to, the big hits. I just love football and the tackling that goes on to it. But at that point, the guy hit anyway. Yes, you're right. Highlight of the day, flag being picked up by the referees for the Xavier Woods hit. Very true. Jukesville, will Frank Reich of the Carolina Panthers be fired? Not yet. Not yet. Again, it is improvement. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be fired overall, but it's not a case where, oh yeah, he's going to be fired tomorrow. Did you see defense shut him down? Offense scored in the second half. He ran the ball more than he threw the ball. It was some things there. Bryce got hit less. Uh, it didn't become a catastrophe. And we just got through talking about injuries. You don't think that he's going to say, well, and you also have to know, I battled through injuries. He said, yeah, everybody, but I battled through a ton of injuries as a first-year coach. So something to think about. And I don't think he gets fired tomorrow. Has to make it through the season at this point. Bryce Young, less than 90 yards in the first half, called it Quentin. So earlier in the pregame show, we were talking about wages for this game. My disclaimer was I don't do that. I don't know what all the lines are. And Quentin said, bet on Bryce Young having less than 90 yards in the first half. I'm going to see if I can bring it up really quickly to see what he had. Bryce Young in the first half had 80 yards. So, yes, you would have been right. And you would have been wrong if you listened to me. I said Adam Thielen more times than not has beat his over-under. I think today he was around 60-something yards. And Adam Thielen had his worst game ever this season, I should say. I don't know if ever. 1 reception, 2 yards. That has to be close. Well, I guess he could have had a 0-yard game. But, you know, when you gamble, only gamble what you can afford to lose. Let's continue to work through some of these comments here. So Quentin, yeah, so good question, Leonard. Quentin, hopefully you won some money on that bet. Quentin, did you bet? Oh, here we go. He said I was hoping to lose the bet, but yes, I did. So congratulations to you out there for winning. And my man, C-Dog. C-Dog is always supportive. C-Dog has been one of the people who's won some merchandise from the Panthers, from the Charlotte Vibe of the Carolina Panthers. Reminding you to hit that like button, please, and thank you. Hit the like button. Just get into that habit. Hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything, and it supports this channel so much. So do that for me, please. Carson, so why did Frank take the play calling back? Well, you know, he wants to put his team in a better position. He felt like he could put his team in a better position by calling the plays. So that's what he did. David Tepper Carson leaving the locker room is all over the news. Yeah, as it should be. As it should be, right? Because here's the thing. You haven't heard from David Tepper all season long. And many fans want to hear from him, want to know what's going on, what's his current mood. He was shown on the screen against the Chicago Bears, kind of just like shaking his head and just being disgusted. So when you know that there's so many ears around the locker room, and you as the owner walk out and you drop the F-bomb, you don't care at that point, right? You don't care that people know about it. You know it's going to be reported on. So if fans want to know how, you know, upset the Tepper is, that would say he's he's very upset because he would know. He might say later, I don't care. I don't care. Anyway, I think it is all over the news and it should be reported on because your owner walking out when your team's 1-10 saying that, yeah. Lets you know, confirms the seat is high. He's not happy. Wow, this is a new comment here. Eternal Holy says, I believe we should fire the offensive coordinator. We'll say that one for tomorrow. And we are going to end on this great comment right here. Hey, sincerely hope you all enjoy the content. Andre Cassidy will be back with us tomorrow. David from Panther Nation Podcast will be joining us tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed the photographs that we show. Had our live interview with our photographer from Nashville. Post game, gave some really good insight. Had a lot of videos, things like that we covered. So it's 1 in 10. It's tough, but we aim to still be informative and work for you. That's how I go with the name Man of the People. So I hope you all appreciate it. If there's something that you want, a question that you have, please let me know. I will always continue to do what I can to make sure I get those answers for you by the coaches and players. I just ask for you to hit that like button to help give me the power to get these guys' attention and get some questions answered for you, all right? So, for Charlotte Vibe, I'm Chris Jenkins. See you tomorrow.